Welcome to episode 15 of the MJ Sports Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm joined by Jonas, and this is your week of sports and review.
Sports. Woo! Football, baby. It's the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Oh, man. And Mark, it is the playoffs indeed. And I just want to start off this episode by issuing a sincere apology for last week. I know we had talked about the Cowboys and the Washington football team, and I just want to apologize for that Cowboys blindsidedness, the blinding light of Jerry Jones, expecting the Cowboys to make the playoffs, and that was just unreasonable of me. So I just want to issue an apology for that. Obviously it was going to be the football team.
I mean, I still don't think you guys probably feel as bad as Giants fans do right now, considering that the Eagles, Doug Peterson's questionable coaching decisions in that game.
I mean, I don't know. I was kind of caught in between on that because it still would have been nice to go out with a win, but because I feel like we should have beat the Giants. But it's I didn't necessarily mind Washington holding on and Doug Pearson tanking. Not whenever I knew that we lost, so it was kind of funny.
So did you actually think he tanked?
Oh,
that game?
Oh, surely, right?
Yes, I definitely agree.
Although I don't know. Well, here's the funny thing that kind of sums up the NFC East, right? Is they basically benched like half of their good players, like half their roster going into the game. And the fact that Washington still couldn't just win with like a backup tight end, like playing against backup tight end, backup running backs, backup corners, like all these rookie safeties and stuff, and they still had to sub Jalen Hurts, who was playing like complete garbage, in order to even be able to win that game. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Eagles had several opportunities where I'm like, okay, if Jalen Hurts, I think they at least have is playing here. I think they at least can kick a field goal here.
Yeah.
Something like I think the Eagles, if they would have played Jalen Hurts that fourth quarter with the way Washington was playing, probably would have had several opportunities. Now, I know Jalen Hurts is playing like crap, but at least he had 2 rushing touchdowns. And, I mean, he wasn't throwing the ball quite as bad as Sudfeld. But,
Well, remember a few weeks ago when I said the Eagles were going to win the division whenever they put in Jalen Hurts? If the Cowboys had not won last week against the Eagles would have won the division at 6-9-1. Like, I agree. If they were going to win that game, if they keep them in, like if they kick a field goal 17-17 and they keep them in the rest of the game. And granted, if they were playing for the division in that game, Goddard and Miles Sanders, they're going to be playing. So,
Yep.
And yeah, what do you think? From pick 9 to pick 6, are they going to be? Was there somebody that they were going to pick in between those 3 that they're thinking they wouldn't be able to get if they're at 9?
I have no idea.
I mean, I would think they'd probably pick that Devonta Smith guy from Alabama with their first pick. And I guess maybe they thought he would go before 9. Or they just don't like they like Washington more than the Giants. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But hey, Alex Smith led the Redskins to the playoffs.
Yeah, that he did. 5-1. Granted, maybe a few lucky games here and there, but defense. But
yeah. But I'll be interested to see what they do next season at quarterback. I saw a rumor today that they have interest in Cam Newton, and I just refuse to believe that.
Well, Andy, I saw that he was looking for like a $30 to $40 million deal.
Maybe over the next like 40 years.
For 2 years. I think it was like 2 year, $40 million. A Bridgewater deal, except he played nowhere near as good as the Saints Bridgewater. So
yeah, could this have been the last of Cam Newton?
We can only hope with how he has played. Oh man, I don't want to hate on Cam Newton too much anymore, but I'll be interested to see what the Patriots do as well, because clearly it didn't work out with Cam Newton, and it's not working out with Jared Stidham either. So I don't know what in the world they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Well, I don't think they're going to get the chance to get Trubisky.
Oh man.
I thought, if you would have asked me that at the beginning of the season, I'd say yes. But I think Trubisky's done enough to this point to make Ryan Pace give him another year.
Oh,
so
wow.
Which is great if you're a Packers fan. So,
man.
Or what maybe they go after. Think about this: Matt Stafford in New England.
That would be interesting. I don't know. I kind of want Stafford to go to the Colts, but
I just want Stafford to go for a good team. Go to a good team.
Here's the thing, though: if you're Stafford, do you really want to go to New England, who's basically now a crumbling organization? Like, if you go to the Colts, they basically have good players on their entire team except for quarterback. And
it's true.
New England basically has nothing.
But New England also has some of the most cap space going into this offseason.
That's true, but when's the last time Bill Belichick has paid any skill players anything?
That's true, but maybe that changes. You never know.
Maybe
he swipes a trade for Odell, too.
Oh, boy. That would be worthless, too, I think. But I don't know your thoughts on Odell, but
I think it'd be I think it'd be an excellent trade for one of Belichick's Walmart cashiers.
I don't think he'll be on the Browns next year.
No, I don't either. Speaking of the Browns, did you see? Sounds like Kevin Stefanski won't be coaching because he has COVID.
Yeah, and this is what I just don't understand is why don't they let him call in?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand that.
Or, yeah, I feel like they should, but
or at least be on like a walkie-talkie. Like he could, like surely he could just like be by himself in like a concrete section of the stadium and just walkie-talkie something, or surely with the technology we have, there should be a way to let him coach.
I agree. I don't know. I know the NFL has strict like communication protocols, so I don't know if maybe it violates one of those. But I feel like the NFL needs to. This is a different year, so like there's no advantage. Like he's not going to have any extra advantage coaching from home,
right,
or anything like that. So
yeah, and I don't. Who do you think wins that game? I don't.
Okay. Not the Browns.
Yeah, I honestly think the Steelers are playing like the one team in the playoffs that they are going to be able to beat. Like, I don't think there's any other team in the AFC that they could beat besides the Browns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Yeah, being a Steelers fan right now, ugh, they've come into the playoffs about as cold as any team I've ever seen.
I know.
Like, I really, I'm trying to think of a team that's come in. Like, I mean, granted, you've got the NFC East, where a bad team's getting into the playoffs regardless, but that's different than a team who started out undefeated, was looking, pretty good for a while, and then now just looks like they'd lose to the Jets.
I mean, they were a Philip Rivers choke job away from being 0-5 to finish the season. So, yeah, but yeah, the Steelers. I think it'll be close, probably a nasty game. But I figure Pittsburgh will be able to pull it out. But it's going to be kind of like the Browns. We're going to be hearing this from the Browns fans. If we had Stefanski, we would have won the game. We would have won. So I guarantee there's going to be. I mean, I guess it's a rightful excuse, but still.
Well, Baker's going to have to play like good Baker too. Like, he's going to have to be locked in for them to have a chance too.
They just need to run the ball, and honestly, I wouldn't even run Kareem Hunt that much. I feel like Chubb is 5 times better than Kareem Hunt, just based on watching him this season. I would just run Chubb into the ground, and then just, I guess, if you want to pass it to Kareem Hunt, I guess, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd do, like, short passes, like, to where Baker is throwing the ball in, like, under 3 seconds. Like, you got to get it out of there quick.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably rely on some play action, too.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the key, but everything's going to have to be quick because everyone knows Baker's terrible under pressure typically. So, and the Steelers are going to bring pressure. So, if their offense is just going to have to be nice and short.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much opportunity to throw a deep ball. So.
Well, before we get too much into the playoff games, you just want to talk a little bit about the head coach firings. Obviously, Adam Gase is fired, not surprisingly. Anthony Lynn also fired, which I think we said would happen. And Doug Marrone, which I think at least I said would happen, and I think you said give him 1 more year, maybe. I don't remember what you said.
I said I was kind of mixed on Marrone. I kind of felt like he would get fired, but that maybe they should give him another year. I know you disagreed with that, but it doesn't matter now because he got fired.
Right.
So, and from the rumors I'm seeing, it seems like Urban Meyer might be taking that job.
Man, that just seems like a rough job to take if I'm Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars getting rid of so much talent over the years. I mean, it's going to have Trevor Lawrence. Still got Chark. Robinson, great rookie this year, running back.
Yeah, they got they have some good, and they have more than just Chark. Like, they have that Keelan Cole guy, that rookie Chenault.
They don't have much depth in most spots on their roster, and their defense needs some work.
Yeah, they need to pull an all defensive draft.
They're going to have to be a couple years. Like, it's not going to be an instant thing. I still think the Chargers is the most desirable head coaching position.
Yeah, me too.
Granted, you're going to have to go through, because if I was going in as a head coach, I'm firing every single person on that staff. No one stays. Like, every coordinator's gone. The guy who refills the water bottles is gone.
Like, team doctor is gone.
Yeah, team doctor gone. Like everybody's gone, and I'm bringing in all new people because that entire coaching staff seems awful.
I mean, to
So
be fair, I'm probably doing that with any coaching, like Atlanta. Whoever takes the Atlanta job, do you really want any of those coaches still on there?
well, that's fair.
You know, the
That's
the only person I would think I would might keep would be the Texans, and you might keep Romeo Crennel, but for a so-called defensive coach, has a pretty bad defense.
well, and a lot of times in those situations, you won't even see him retained because there's kind of that thing where I was the head coach. Even though it was an interim position, I don't want to go back to being a defensive coordinator here. So, there's a lot of times you don't see guys who take over as interim jobs stay with the team unless they get the head coaching job.
Right, which pretty rarely happens, but
yeah. So, but I mean, whereas if you go into the Chargers, I still think obviously the best new coaching position over the last 10 years has probably been the Packers with Matt LaFleur.
Yeah,
because you just don't see that type of job open up typically with a head coach. So, but I think the Chargers is going to be a pretty good job for someone to take because you've already got your quarterback. I mean, offense isn't bad. Like, you've already got a lot of. I think they need some depth as well, but
really, their defense isn't even that bad. What has killed them the entire season is just literally just bad clock management. Like, I feel like they're the one team where you can say coaching has affected the outcomes of the game the most.
Yeah.
So, which is a shame because I mean they could have been like 9-7.
Yeah.
So, but I agree. I think the least desirable position is the Texans, just based off.
I don't know. I think it might be the Lions.
Oh, that's true. It could be the Lions. I don't know, but the Texans just have no real way of rebuilding right now. Like they're like 2 years before they can even start a rebuild, and they should be rebuilding right now.
But at least you already have a quarterback, and you're in the Lions are going to have to start completely fresh. And this is a team that's basically been rebuilding for the last 20 years anyways. So, I mean, they don't have much in place already. And once Stafford's gone, it's just going to be I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, they got to start by drafting, not another quarterback, I think.
Yeah, they honestly need new ownership as well. Like they're just everything about them needs to be replaced. So, new GM, everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least the Texans are in I'd say a better football market.
Yeah, I guess.
And you have a quarterback. I mean, I think the Texans are gonna tear down. I think there's still some time left on J.J. Watt's contract, but I've been seeing all sorts of stuff about, he's probably gone this offseason.
So, yeah, I would think he probably wants to go to somewhere he can try to win, but
probably going to go to the Steelers where he can play with his other two brothers. So
that would be wild.
Got a fullback, a defensive lineman, and a linebacker. So, but I mean, that pretty much. I don't really think I have much else to say on the coaching front. Do you?
Not really. I guess the only thing I would ask is, you think the Jets will draft Justin Fields or trade down?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I don't know. Because I can see the thought process either way. It's honestly, I don't know what I'd do. Like, because you got to think that Adam Gase has been terrible for Sam Darnold's development. Like, you know, so you got to, part of you's got to think, if you give him a good coach, someone who can help him out, does he get any better? I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell. He's been on a crappy team for his entire career. I don't know. It's tough. What would you do? I don't think I'd draft. I'm gonna say I wouldn't draft Justin Fields because you've still got a lot of other areas of need, and you just hope that Darnold gets better with a new coach.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Well, here's what I'm actually thinking is. I think you trade down, but I think they might trade down to someone else that would draft Fields, and then they could be able to draft like that BYU quarterback, and then also get like another pick next year, a few other picks. And then if I was them, I'd try trading Sam Darnold for like a third rounder, see if anyone gives it to me for that. Because I don't really think the Jets are that bad of a team. Because you got to remember, just last year, basically the same team minus Jamal Adams, and they were 7-9. So I really
that's
I really
fair.
don't think they were that awful. And they were a Raiders, they were a Greg Williams, whatever in the world he was thinking, play call away from being 3-13. So I don't know. I feel like they're not that bad, but I don't think Justin Fields. I feel like there will be a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be Justin Fields' level of play.
Well, and we've seen how Ohio State quarterbacks have panned out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I agree with you. I think trading down is probably the best move, especially because someone will do what the Bears did and they'll overpay. I mean, for that pick.
Yeah.
I mean, but so maybe they trade Darnold in a 5th rounder for Tua.
Oh, that would be what? Oh man, that would be, I think, pretty stupid too. But
I agree. That's why I said
it would be funny.
Yeah, considering Tua really didn't look too good in this last game.
Yeah, he looked pretty bad. But I mean, what the Bills? I don't want to linger on the Dolphins too much because they still had a good season. And like I said, I don't know what you do with Tua. You just got to ride him out for another year, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, honestly, Brian Flores has a hard decision to make because I don't think they will make the playoffs if they start Tua all year next year. But you kind of hurt his development if you don't just let him play out the whole season and the whole game, each game.
Yeah.
So
that is a tough choice.
Or you can try to win now with Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna ride Tua all of next year. So,
well, speaking of the Bills Colts, what are you thinking there?
Oh, there's part of me that really wants the Bills to make the Super Bowl and then just lose in it again. I mean, the Bills have looked great lately, so it's hard to pick against them. And the Colts, I mean, they've got a good defense, and Jonathan Taylor has been playing great lately. I mean, he's looked phenomenal. But Phillip Rivers is going to be the key. And I think I'm going to pick the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to also pick the Bills. And I know I have been doubting them all year, Mark. But the Bills are going to be my team in the playoffs. I am going for them to win the Super Bowl. And that's my choice. That's my one bandwagon ticket for the playoffs.
You've come a long way this season.
I know. And just like that, the Bills are going to lose.
The Bills Mafia will never be satisfied.
Got to jump through a table now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? If the Bills win the Super Bowl, I'll jump through a table.
If the Bills win the Super Bowl, I will jump from my balcony through a table. I'm sure that'll be a great time.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. Might want to take a couple days off after that. Just in advance.
Yeah, maybe. But well, what's the other? Okay, we did the Browns and the Steelers. So right now we're thinking on the same page. But maybe the Titans Ravens matchup. Maybe that's where we pick differently. I don't know what you're thinking here.
I know you're not going to pick the Ravens, and I'm not going to pick the Ravens. I'm going with the Titans.
Now, Mark, that was bold of you to assume that I was going to pick the Titans. And then this is why I pre-led this game by saying I think we're going to pick different. Because I think the Ravens are going to get their revenge on the Titans, and I think they're going to win this game. Now, it's going to be close, but I think the Ravens are going to win by a touchdown.
Interesting.
And I think most of that's going to... Oh, go ahead.
I think the Titans are going to win by 10-14.
Whew. They barely took them to overtime this past time.
It doesn't matter. That's last time.
Man, I think the Ravens are just hot, and they're tired of losing to Derrick Henry. So,
well, and Derrick Henry doesn't want to lose to him, so he's going to go and pick every single one of their defensive players up by their face mask and slam them into the ground on a stiff arm.
I hope he does. I look. I'm not cheering for the Ravens in this game. I'm cheering for the Titans. I don't like the Ravens. If you've listened to this podcast before, I don't think Lamar Jackson's very good, at least at throwing the ball. So, I want the Titans to win it. I do. But I just think the Ravens they're gonna shock some people by winning this game. And that's mostly gonna be due to the Titans' god-awful defense.
Well, we'll have to see. Depends on if Lamar Jackson probably depends on what he eats before the game.
That's true. He needs to eat Taco Bell, so he has to take a mid-game poop.
But yeah, we have to. If we don't see Tracy McSorley for a little bit of the game, they have no chance of winning. Right. So that's the key to the Ravens' success. Tracy McSorley has to take a few snaps.
Oh, man. Well, on to probably – I don't know if the NFC is going to be more boring or more exciting. Just because the Bears. I mean, did the Bears make this game exciting at all, or is this going to be a bore?
You know what? I am going to say it's going to be exciting. I'm going to say this is going to be an incredibly exciting matchup because and everybody's saying that this is a bad matchup for the Bears. But I am picking the Bears.
Man.
I think Mitch is going to have the game of his life until he throws a ball and hits someone's helmet with his hand. hurting his finger. Then you know who has to come in and make the playoff run for the Bears?
Is Nick Foles even healthy?
Nick Foles.
Is he even healthy?
I bet, you know what, they're going to
They're
make him
gonna
healthy.
zap him with something magical.
Yeah. Look, I'm picking a big upset here.
Now, look, I can't agree with you there, but I do think if there's any game that is going to have like a massive upset like this, like I feel like the Bears are the team that could potentially win this game. If they can get pressure on Drew Brees, then maybe they do shock the world and the Saints are going to Saints, I guess. You know,
these are the types of games where the Bears should get absolutely blown out and they still play kind of crappy, but somehow they find a way to make it close. So
yeah, I think it would be absolutely hilarious if the refs somehow cost the Saints the game again. I can already see it. It's going to be like a phony, mysterious roughing the passer call on like 4th and 20 that lets the Bears get in the field goal range or something.
And then the Bears would have a double doink.
I don't know which ending would be more perfect. There, double doink, but they make it.
How about the Bears missing the double doink sends it to overtime, and then the Bears win in overtime on a
doink.
Phantom. Yeah. No, I'm going to be honest. Most of the reason I'm picking the Bears is because I really don't want to have to see the Packers play the Saints. So I've got to believe with all of my heart that the Bears are going to win this game for that to happen.
Mark, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself on you don't want to see them play the Saints. Because I think the Buccaneers are going to win and beat the Packers in the divisional round.
Interesting.
I know you probably don't see it that way.
In Lambeau?
Yes. Tom Brady is used to the cold. If there's one person that is used to the cold,
Tom Brady is. Who else on that team is?
Well, that's all I need. Tom Brady, that's it. That's all I need. Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh, bam. What you think about that? Their connection's going up. Gronk, look at that, Mark. I'd be getting scared if I were you about now.
Oh, I'm terrified.
See, this is exactly why you guys are going to lose. You're too cocky. You want to play the Bears again. You're going to get an easy cream puff game against the Bears. That's what you want. And you just want to look forward, to an easy path to the Super Bowl. Well, Tom Brady is the one guy that's standing in your way. Forget the Saints. The Saints are trash. They're not going to do anything. It's going to be the Buccaneers. And there is my team for the NFC is the Buccaneers.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I disagree with you there.
Well, okay, first of all, do you think the Bucs will beat Washington?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I thought Washington would have a chance until this past week, whenever they couldn't even beat a tanking Eagles team.
I know. That's kind of what did it for me is I was like, well, maybe if Washington can keep their offense in moderate check, they'll have a chance.
Yeah, and Alex Smith had like 3 turnovers, so that doesn't exactly, that was kind of the whole point. You're starting Alex Smith, right?
Granted, Alex Smith, didn't really practice much that week. He didn't. I don't think he had any live reps or anything because he was coming off of injury. But yeah, I know there's no way the Buccaneers lose to the Washington football team. Although maybe the NFC will just be all upsets.
Well, what are you considering the Rams an upset? I'm assuming.
Okay. I don't know if you can really pick an upset in that game because Seattle has, you look at Seattle and you're like, this should be a good team. They should be a really, a team that people are scared to play in the NFC, and they're just not. Like,
Well,
they just have not
and the
played
funny
well.
thing is Seattle's a Colt McCoy led victory away from being the 1 seed instead of you guys.
No. Well, they've just had so many ugly games. They're kind of like what we were last year.
I don't know. I feel like they're worse than that.
Well, I agree, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Like, similar record. Like, it's not a team that you feel confident in at their record. So, yeah,
Well, unfortunately, I think the Rams are just maybe this Wolford guy, whatever his name is, he honestly might be better than Jared Goff.
it's hard to
But
tell.
like I don't see how they even score enough points to be able to win, and that's pretty much the only reason I would pick Seattle.
Yeah, no, I got to pick Seattle in that game
And
too.
I don't think Seattle is going to score. Like, Seattle might score 17 points, and that's going to be enough to win. Like,
yeah, no, I'm thinking Seattle scores like 20, like even, like 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. So I don't. They should be so much better.
It really is an easy path to the NFC. Like, there's really only 3 capable teams in the NFC that can win, I think.
Yeah.
If you're including the Buccaneers, this one that, like, I don't know if you think they're capable of winning the NFC.
No, I think they are. I think the Packers and the Saints are better than the Buccaneers. But I still put the Buccaneers in that same tier. I don't think it's like leaps and bounds better or anything like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the AFC, it's going to be, I mean, I feel like even the Browns, I don't think the Browns are capable of winning the Super Bowl, but at least this game, I think, could be good. Hopefully it'll be good. But
yeah.
And then once again, the NFL puts the NFC East team on Saturday night primetime game. I don't understand how the NFC, and I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't even understand how we keep getting the late games in these. It makes no sense. And I know they're having to schedule the Bears as well, so it makes it tough, but still.
Yeah. It's true. I don't know. I'm just pumped for playoff football.
And I can't remember.
So,
did we talk about a game airing on Nickelodeon on this podcast yet?
Yeah, I don't know if I think I brought it up a couple weeks ago, but I don't think you really talked about it a ton. But
that is, I hope it's really funny. That's all I can hope for.
Well, I saw they were going to have like Patrick and SpongeBob screaming touchdown every time a touchdown scored.
They really need to have Squidward on there being like really like anticlimactic about everything.
Or if someone has a turnover, they just have like Squidward playing his clarinet badly.
Oh, that would be great.
Or if there's a loose ball, they can just have like, "Where's Gary?"
I like how it's like mostly
I heard people
literally Nickelodeon's pretty much just become like the SpongeBob channel now. Like, you don't even know what else is on there anymore.
I can't name another show.
I mean, I would think like they could bring out some old shows if they wanted to, like Fairly Odd Parents, stuff like that. But I have no. Maybe can we get George Lopez on here? That would be absolutely hilarious.
See, I can wake up from like a halftime nap to the George Lopez theme song, just like how whenever you would have a sleepover or something, you always wake up at 3 a.m. just so confused to the George Lopez song every time.
Yeah, that would be the next best thing they could do. Except I don't know if they consider that child friendly or not. But
I don't think it would be considered child friendly, but
it would be more entertaining for the rest of the people watching it.
well, just get a good mix in there. That way,
Is the
everybody's
game
happy.
solely on Nickelodeon? Do you know, or is it also like it's on like NBC or whatever, and also Nickelodeon? That's gonna
I
be
have no
whack if
idea.
it's like just on Nickelodeon. I don't know how the NFL got that TV deal done, unless I don't know who Nickelodeon's owned by.
Yeah, I don't either.
I guess I kind of always assumed it was their own thing, but I figured it'd be owned by. Well, I don't think.
You gotta
Yeah,
be
I
owned
don't
by
know if it'd be
somebody.
CBS, NBC, or ABC, or somebody else, or Fox.
My guess is it's one of those things where you can either watch it on NFL Network or Nickelodeon. But
yeah.
if it's just on Nickelodeon, I'd be kind of surprised.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone is going to be wanting to see SpongeBob on their screen.
The commercials for it.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I guess we made our picks for this week. Well, hopefully next week I'll try to tally up the results of our regular season challenge. I don't know if you want to go double or nothing on this, Mark.
I'm confident that I beat you.
In what? In the playoffs?
In the regular season.
Okay, so I'll go. I'm willing to go double or nothing if I did in fact somehow lose for the playoffs.
Okay, you know what? I'll go double or no, I gotta go all in. Double or nothing.
Well, I think oh no, you picked the Bears and I picked the Ravens. Those are two differing picks, right? For this one.
Now this last week I picked against you like in every single one.
Oh, I meant go double or nothing for the playoffs choices.
Oh, for the playoffs. For the playoffs, yeah. No, you're right.
So if you're down to go double or nothing for the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm confident in the
pretty
Bears.
confident in the Ravens, not gonna lie. So
I mean, I think that game's just gonna be a blowout. I'm changing my mind. So
you're changing your mind.
Oh, well, I said that the Titans were only going to win by 10 points. I think the Titans win by about 35 now. It's just a flat out blowout.
It could happen. If you get these two games right, it won't be looking good for me. It's a lot less time to come back.
Well, we'll see how it goes, but I don't want to ramble on if you don't have anything else.
For keeping a little bit shorter this week, so
cool. Well, thanks for listening. This has been episode 15, and we'll be back next week.